On today's Castro Tech File, we're going to have a look at the performance improvements Dynamax Super Gas entry of the Goodwin race team. It's powered by a 468 BDM Wood Chevrolet, and it breathes through this massive hood scoop. Through the driver's compartment, we have the Power Glide transmission, and all that ends up here with a set of 15-inch Firestone slicks. In the driver's compartment, lots of sophistication here. Delay box to help get a good reaction time. Rev control to make sure that shift is right on the shift point. Rev control feeds into an electric shifter. We don't even let the driver make that decision. Beside the big tack, a red light will come on at the shift point to back things up. What we're looking for here is consistency in the Supergas class. Consistency on a 9.90 run. That's who's going to win the money here today.
The guys who make the money each and every week here at London Motorsports Park, the Sunoco Ultra Clean 94 Super Series, Norm, featuring the local guys, the guys who are here each and every meet.
Weekend warriors doing battle in their Novas. Wayne Stennett with an 1114, Bill Little a 1094. Stennett will get a slight head start. Little's going to try and mow him down.
I love this class. Most people know these guys, and they're very, very evenly matched, too.
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be more evenly matched as they head for that stripe, and here it comes.
And hitting the brakes, but picking up the win, Wayne Stennett. Now, Butters and Martin. Bill Butters in the tower lane, Jerry Martin in the spectator lane.
Sportsman class, the dial-ins are a little slower. See them up in the 13-second area, Eric.
As a layman, are you not towing along a lot more automobile when you're running a station wagon?
Yeah, but there was, in the old days of drag racing, when we ran very small tires, the weight on the back helped the traction.
Well, let's see if it holds true right now. Bill Butters and Jerry Martin in the Sunoco Ultra Clean 94 Super Series.
Sportsman final now. Just as much pressure on these guys as the top alcohol final when you're in that car.
I want that station wagon for groceries. Well, maybe I don't. The way it's going right now. Good drag race. Getting down to that line, and Jerry Martin will pick up the win. The Ultra Clean 94 Super Series. Stennett and Martin. Martin with the Sportsman win and the Super Pro win to Wayne Stennett. Super Comp. Coming into the final, Bruce Barth against Norm Noddle, who once again bolts from our broadcast location and heads down to the start line. This should be an excellent final in Super Comp here at the Can-Am Nationals, London Motorsports Park on Raceline. Shadow's getting a little long here. I don't know whether the sun angle has become a factor here or not. We'll just have to wait and see. Bruce Barth will take the tower lane out of Lakeland, Michigan. Norm Noddle out of Oakville in the spectator lane earlier on, with the alcohol cars turned out to be the faster lane of the two. So Barth and Noddle get staged here. Engines come up to RPM and they're off. Coming through on the tower lane. Bruce Barth will just clip it at the line. Oh, some disappointment there. We saw Bev jumping up and down, but Bruce Barth will take this 143 miles an hour, 887 ET. Let's look at this thing again. Reaction time is what wins and loses this race. Bruce Barth with a 478 reaction time, and you notice that Noddle a little bit sluggish off the line, and that's what lost in the drag race. Although, look at this. Noddle pedaling hard, almost catches him at the line. Here's John.
Well, this may be one of the more unusual finish line interviews, but it needs some explaining as well. First off, Bruce, congratulations on the win.
Thank you. It's my first with this car.
Well, there you go. Congratulations. Norm, explain what happened here.
Well, I got a bit of a bad light. Bruce got out on me, so he probably put a half a car length on me, and I knew I was in trouble, so I have an override on the throttle control, and I pushed it, and I guess I pushed it a little too much, and we both eclipsed the 890. I eclipsed it by 100th more than he did, so 887 to an 886.
Well, congratulations, both of you. At least both making it to the final round, and there only can be one winner. The winner, Bruce Barth in Super Comp.
So we complete our ladder in Super Comp. Bruce Barth picks up the win. And Norm Noddle give it a good try there, but he comes up short in the final round. Now, let's go to the final in Super Stock. It will be Bill Owen and Chuck Gallagher, and Norm has rejoined us. Norm?
Gallagher's got a tough one here. He's going to wait 3 seconds watching that little Camaro head down the track. I think he can do it. He's a tough bracket racer.
I mentioned when you were down competing that maybe the shadow's getting a little longer here as we get into the burnouts. Does that affect the drivers at all?
You start to see the lights more clearly. It'll hurt these guys more than us because they have a handicap. They actually pick a point on the tree. We react to the first thing that we see. tendency to red light as it gets darker gets greater.
Chuck Gallagher in his Sunbird in the Tower Lane. Bill Owen from Flint, Michigan in his 67 Chevrolet. Will started off in the spectator lane. He was in the Tower Lane before. Let's see how he switches over.
The potential for a 50-mile-an-hour finish line difference, Eric, exists in this race.
This should be exciting. The final in Superstock. Looks like a half-an-hour lead here, but it's only, what, 3 seconds or so?
A little over 3 seconds. Gallagher waited. It's going to be great. Owen now, he's just pushing on the pedal, looking over his shoulder. He sees Gallagher.
Oh, boy, he just got it.
8:86. What a terrific run for the Gallagher entry.
Man, oh man, Lehman looking at this at the line by, what, half a hood or something like this? That was a terrific head start, but he comes up with it. Chuck Gallagher in the Sunbird picks up the top Superstock Eliminator title. Now, competition eliminator is going to be Ambrose against Browell.
A battle of 6-cylinder machines here. The D Dragster with a V6 on an 830. Ambrose with an L altered on an 875 will get a .45. Nearly half a second. That's one bulb on the tree, Eric, for the blue car.
It is just a question of a blink of an eye half the time in the Tower Lane. Brian Browell from Lafayette, Indiana. And in the spectator lane, Steve Ambrose out of Woodhaven, Michigan in his 23 Ford.
Browell wants this one so bad he can taste it. This is where he came from. He would really like to put this tough competitor away. I couldn't call it based on performance.
This is going to be one close drag race. Getting everybody staged correctly. Watching that tree.
Brian Browell lights the bulb by 100th of a second, Eric. Ambrose is going to be your winner.
Boy, that happens. You prepare, you do so well, and you just get ahead of that green light. The red light comes on, and you are over that quickly. Steve Ambrose, 157 with an 835. Nice reaction time, too.
Well, I'll tell you, he was pumped for this one. He was a bit late the round before, and I guess he knew it. But watch this if you can see it. Just come on. No, it's the light's just too great. Just see it at the bottom of the tree. Browell picked that up by 1/100th of a second red.
So, competition eliminator goes to Steve Ambrose out of Woodhaven, Michigan. Top alcohol funny cars. We're clicking through the finals here. Let's have a look at it here. Mandolini against Todd Payton out of Paris, Ontario. I've been waiting for this race all day.
You got a battle of gunslingers here. Mandolini teamed up with Fred Hagen. They're old match racers, whereas this Payton team, the youth is going to be a factor.
Norm, these runs take a long time to stage. What's happening here?
Right now, he's just concentrating on everything he can think of to make a perfect run. Stage at the right RPM. They're probably making a decision whether to leave at 5,000 or 4,500 based on the traction.
Shot of alcohol down the breather of the blower here to get it fired up.
And an accessory starter, you can see that unit coming off. You don't need to carry 60 pounds down the track with you. Now he's on his own. They won't be able to restart this car if anything goes wrong.
2,000 horsepower, alcohol, funny cars, ready for the final.
Ignition up. Let's rock, buddy.
And that says it all, Eric. Let's rock, buddy. The crew chief told him what he's looking for.
These machines, as powerful as they are, and as John mentioned earlier, there is a lot more to this than just point it and drive it, let me tell you. Todd Payton and Mandolini. Fred Mandolini out of Schiller, Illinois. Todd Payton out of Paris, Ontario.
Okay, Eric, I hear something I don't like. It sounds to me like there's a clutch engagement problem on the Mandolini entry. You saw no tire smoke?
Exactly.
Okay, the body's up.
Oh, boy.
They're looking. If they can get the pedal pulled back, they may be able to try a short burnout. This doesn't look good for Mandolini, the wheeler dealer.
But what's happening with Payton? What's going through his head now?
He doesn't know yet. The only thing he's not sure of is why Mandolini didn't come, but he doesn't know. They've already clicked it. This deal is done.
Oh, boy. Todd Payton loves to win, but you got to think that the Charger from Paris, Ontario wants to win at the other end, not when the other guy breaks, but that sometimes happens in drag racing.
Oh, sure. He wants to rip his heart out. He doesn't want a gift here. He likes the money and the points, but this crew is starting to celebrate already.
Now, will he make the run here or just shut it off?
Now, he's going for low ET of this race, and that means a lot. Not in the pocketbook, but it just tells the crew chief they've done their part right. Watch Tony line them up here extra carefully, Eric. They've got time.
So they're just going to go after the numbers here. What about wear and tear on the equipment?
Well, it's a factor, but at this point, they want to put a big number up on the board, and that'll offset any of the money that it costs them to make the run.
Who would just bang the side of the car? I bet you Todd felt that.
It helps pump him up, sure. We're working on everything now. The adrenaline's flowing. He's got the time to make a perfect run. It isn't going to be it. You see it shaking in the middle.